Very big welcome to you, my dear Aquarius. So, today the Sun in Cancer is giving the light in Aquarius, in your sign. And we see how we have to leave family to find our friends, to find our own family that we have to create eventually on the path of the Fool to the world, how the world is going to see us. And you see here now a more modern version of your deck. And when I picked the deck for each of the 22 steps of the major arcanas, right, each of the positionings has its own deck. The mystical moment tarot deck fell on you, and we see here we have the Taj Mahal, we have this hopefulness in love and in the things that we create, even though they are sometimes quite seem impossible, but still some people, they dream so big that they're like, I'm not gonna stop to make my dreams happen here. And that's the success Cancer brings. The true success, though, is always when you follow your heart, when you follow the love that you have deep within, and you don't let anything else sidetrack you, right? It's that true focus Cancer brings to you. Though Cancer right now, that is ruled by the moon, is in the sun, and so there's a little bit of an oxymoron coming at you, but it's almost like saying, well, sun and moon are both in Cancer, and so it's like it's giving you the power to think as big as here this king who created the Taj Mahal for the love of his life. I mean, it's just also, of course, an extension of how powerful he is, right? And so you see, this little star here up in the sky is facing the right spinning path. Right spinning is human, left spinning is soul. And today you get a right spinning reading because we just had yesterday the full moon in Capricorn, and so now the moon is actually waning again, slowly but surely. And today the reading is to the right, and on the full moon, like yesterday for Capricorn, I read it to the left, because from the full moon we're going back to the new moon, right? And the new moon is that I go deep within again into my seed, into my idea, into my existence, into my foolish moment that I have decided to come here into this world. And so today you get the 7 of Cancer in the 17 of your card. And so you have an empowerment through a 7-7 portal already right here. Calculated together, this then becomes an 8. So we have a 7-8, a succession into the right spinning path. Ruled by the moon, ruled by Uranus, the revolutionary energy that is happening now, because I connect the right spinning path with the spin of the Earth around its own axis to the right every 24 hours. And then, of course, on the full moon, I do the left spinning reading, right? And that's connected with the wobble the Earth does in 25,800 years, which we divide through the 12 zodiac signs, and we get an age. And the age is then 2,150 years long. And in an age, we form a religion, and we form also ideologies and new ways of living this world, this life, right? And we can see that this is a very strong energy, because you are getting in this deck actually for the King of Swords. If your birthday is between January 9th and February 7th, then the King of Swords is your court card. And I want you to see there is here a feminine and a masculine king. And so it's very interesting to see this, and people would think, oh, well, this is because of the age of Aquarius, right? The gender question that we're talking about. And you see, for example, in Rider-Waite, they don't have that. They have the king and that's it. But there are two birds flying here, right? So it's always like, okay, there is the duality here. But just that you know, this is not a new idea. We have the oldest intact tarot deck is the Gary Yale Visconti tarot, one of the oldest, 15th century, around there, right? It was created. And the Visconti Sforza tarot, I have it as the first card here on the position of the Fool, because it's one of the oldest tarots, right? And here they have, in this deck, they have for all the kings, all the queens, all the knights, all the pages, masculine and feminine personalities. So it's not something new, it's been here. And so you just see now that you have the possibility to look at, are you more masculine, are you more a feminine king, right? And I leave that up to you. Then reaching back to the last reading where Gemini Sun has given the light to the Aquarius Moon, your 11th house of friendship brings the two ones together. And you see very clearly that, yes, you had here the 11 of the Lifruma Healing Oracle, which is my newest deck, right? This is 2023. And so you have an 11 here. Then you have the two people here. And you have the one as the north, as that new beginning. So you have like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It was a very powerful reading. And so, yeah, you are called to look into the gender neutrality, into this whole story that we think it's just a foolishness of the young generation, giving us here this woke and gender discussion, right? And at the same time, it's part of the age of Aquarius. And so you are bringing a new perspective to the way we see this life. We see now that we are able to create a new paradigm here, because a new age is upon us. And on top of it, Pluto, the planet of transformation, is moving back between Capricorn and Aquarius. And next year, 2024, that's it. 20 years or something like that, Pluto will be in Aquarius. So it's already beginning to manifest here a very big transformation. I'm gonna pull then one more card out of the Lifruma Healing Oracle. So that you see that and I picked two. It sometimes just happens. Interesting, right? With the two feminine and masculine kings. So I have two cards, and interesting enough, I think one is at the beginning and the other one is at the end. I'm just going to put the one at the end here. And the first one is the 17. And of course, so you are looking at the arrow that's pointing up. So do not stop your life by thinking that's it. You are now going into your age. You going up into the sky. You are seeing a 1717 portal right away happening to you, which then becomes an 8-8. An 8 is the connection to Leo, which is opposite of you. It's almost like, yes, you gotta go to Leo. In the next month, we have your full moon reading, right? And so Leo is going to give you the light. And this is where you are going. This is opposite of you. This is the most opposite. This is what duality is all about. These two opposites. There cannot be more opposite than Leo to you. And so to get there, it is here coming the tire, right? The smelt, the position here of the arrow that is pointing up. Now I'm going to just hold this card here so you can stop the video and read it yourself. Proto-God, so old that time has smelted all emotions within. War and fury have been hammered, reformed, made over, recreated, refashioned through the compassion to understand all shadows, all destinies as part of the whole. Under the tutelage of Tyre, all blows, all hammer clangs, and all strikes glow from the flow of love's breath he offers to all life. Wisdom is beauty and compassion, ageless. And you are the ageless energy, right? The age of Aquarius is now that we are reaching maybe the perspective of not aging at all anymore, because we're connecting with a higher consciousness, and that is not dying anyway, right? It's just the physical body is dying. And so there's going to be quite some interesting energies coming at us. So you are looking at that very clearly, right? You're seeing up here from the Taj Mahal that offering to a story of love, right? That he has created this for his beloved. No dream is too big. Simple as that, right? And no path, particularly path to the opposite, is too far or too difficult, right? We can achieve that. We can reach to that. Good. So let's begin. On the position of the Fool, you can see how here we have the Seven of Wands. So exactly what I said, this is Mars in Leo. Opposite of you is Leo. Mars is the warrior. And what do we melt? We melt weapons. We melt here this arrow that's pointing up. And the 7 in the card with the 7 wands, the 7 in your card with the 7 of wands, and the 7 with Cancer, right? A success that wants to be lived, because now you get this idea, no matter what, you gotta go and have the courage to take action about what it is that you want to do. And see how the 7th wand cuts through the 6 wands, which then creates this beautiful pattern here. And you have these 2 little green flowers, and that's exactly here the feminine and the masculine, right? Always remember that. And that's why we're here. We're learning through duality. And now the path down the rabbit hole through this crocodile, right, is to be like courageous. It's a courageous path to go and know who you truly are as a spirit. And so take that path. It's worth to take it. On the position then of the magician comes here the holy mountain. And he is up in the hat, the Mad Hatter, right? So it's almost like, yes, you went down the rabbit hole, you took the courage to go deep down, and where have you arrived? Up at the holy mountain. Up you can see, because the arrow is pointing up. Up you see clearly, right, that no project is too big. It's just the way you look at it. It's a perspective. It's to have perspective about that you have all 4 elements here in the holy mountains, the 25, right? The intuition to use the 5 senses, plus the 1, the sixth sense, and so you're getting here, of course, an 8 calculated all together. But here the 25 is a 7. So Cancer is giving you that push to dare. And he's looking at the right spinning path. He's the human path. And here you sit up in the mountain, you're arriving and seeing when you go deep down courageously that rabbit hole, you're arriving up on the top of the mountain and are creating then here an 8, right? And so really beautiful, you are getting right away like, okay, the push that you need to continue and to do what you're doing. On the position of the High Priestess comes here the Princess of Cups. And the Princess of Cups are the water signs, which is of course Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And you see how she is between these two curtains. She is the one that stands in the deep waters, and she is connected with the moon, and her path or her journey is actually to take the journey spiritually always to the intuition, to the inner, to the within, because she's challenged all the time because she's the number 2, right? And the number 2 is that, okay, what I'm going to do with the number 2 when I always have that possibility? I use free will. And here you see the dolphin jumping over her head, and you see the turtle, and you see the swan, and you see that the 3 zodiac signs, the 3 most emotional zodiac signs, are here to help you to navigate through the deep waters of emotional love and difficulties that arise when we love. So your intuition is telling you that these 3 zodiac signs are going to be here helping you, right, to be more intuitive, because that's what emotions do. That's how we know, oh, I feel something. And you tend to sometimes cut off the way you feel, right? Because you have the sword. You tend to be a little bit like, yes, I am quite pointy and point at the things, and sometimes that can be a little bit much. So here comes the emotional side through the 3 generations, right? Through the young generation that is telling you to become more emotionally available and use your intuition. Then on the position of the Empress comes here the Temperance guardian angel, and you see how she, the Empress, is giving birth to a new idea, to a new creation. And it's always that the love between the masculine and the feminine is giving and taking. And once we understand that, something new can come into fruition. So we have here Temperance, which is the number 14. 14 and 3 is the 17. So you have here 17 and an 8, then again calculated together. So you are challenged to see that you give birth to this perspective in life, right? That everything, even though you go up, even though you have now the power to evolve yourself further, because you had an 8 on the Magician, right? And you are recognizing now that the 8 here is telling you, well, no matter what, how much things melt, how much things will be forged, because the proto-god, so old that time has smelted all emotions within. Allow to give birth to you as the new hope, and don't suppress your feelings, your emotions. Allow to feel, because that's what really is going to be important now in the new age, because that's what also the 8, the Leo energy, is about. Passion. How much passion can I allow in my life? How much giving and taking can I allow in my life? Then comes on the position of the Chariot. Here, a very slow movement, because she sits on a snail, and here we have the Prince of Pentacles, and the Prince of Pentacles is Taurus. It's a king, and Taurus is very slow, but a cow can run also quite fast, but they're more slow. And so the energy is to be going into the human path and take your time and grow gently and beautifully into this world, right? Now here we see in Rider-Waite that the Cancer is the holding the success, holding that love, holding that spiral that brings you deep within, but also brings you deep without. The same way here the snail has, right, that wheel that is bringing you slowly out, but also slowly in. It's all about the love. Here it's also all about the love, the giving and the taking, right? And so here it's also all about the love. And Taurus is bringing you the earthiness to actually hold that love, going out into the world and seeing that here you can learn whatever there is to learn in the dual perspective. Then on the position of the King of Swords, right now I'm using the masculine first, comes the Page of Pentacles. And then you see how Taurus, and here this young generation of all three earth signs, which is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, are giving their love to the earth. And that's what you have to bring to the plate, right? You see how here this bird is covering his right eye, the masculine eye, helping him to see more with the left, with the intuitive eye, and helping this generation here, the earth generation, to evolve and to grow. Because interesting enough, you have here all water signs, the young generation, and now you have also all the earth signs, the young generations. And you are, I think, connected somehow with a job that you can connect with a lot of young people, and you can give them now the hope, right, the impossible, the dreaming of the impossible. And so I think that's what's speaking to you as the king. Now as the King of Swords, the feminine aspect, it's almost like you showing her now that yes, you are a star, but she is giving everything to this flower, and you are just letting her know, hey, I am waking over you. I am the star up in the sky, and I'm putting those stars onto my dress, and the dress itself looks like the planet Uranus. And Uranus is leading this young generation, right? Within you, you are giving these young people the power now to create a new paradigm here on this planet. Then, on the position of the star, comes the Tower. So things have to break apart. This is the card number 16, which then is a 1 and a 6. The magic in loving yourself creates that certain things break apart so that you can create new things. And what's left is the 7. The success is coming in finding your world, finding your calling. And when that calling is there, you just go for it, right? And so you see how she's holding on to something that is just like done. And this is what's happening, right? The age of Aquarius is changing, and things are falling apart, things are breaking apart, so that this young generation can create new things. particular things that are outdated, and it's just part of what it is, right? And so remember, it goes up, but also sometimes things have to come down. Then on the position of the moon, your dream oracle here is the first breath, number 21, and the 21 is the earth, the world, the last card of the 22 major arcanas, right? And so here you have the beginner's mind. Then you can begin completely new, creating whatever it is that you're creating, because you're evolving out of the deep, deep darkness into the light again and again, into the moon. And you want to know, right, what there is, because things have fallen apart, and so now you can begin new, right? You are in the moon, right? And so this is now above, right? You are in the moon, you are recognizing, okay, something is shifting. In my dream, I see that I am able to begin a new cycle, because you see how all the planets are turning around the sun, and she's in the center. She is up there, right? She is a star. The sun is a dwarf star. You are a star. You are supposed to look into this world from a higher perspective, remember? And interesting enough, the mountain here, right? There is this mountain, and so you've become huge, and you are sometimes wanting to hold on to the old, but the old needs to go so that new things can begin. It's part of the cycle. The more we accept it and the more we understand it, the more we can let go of things. Then, of course, on the position of the sun comes here this child with the dog, the number 11, the hearth, right, the fireplace. And the sun in Cancer is giving you warmth, is giving you love, is giving you the success to find your family, find your friends, find your success story, get out of your family's story and create your own. And the 11 is then a portal with the 19, which creates a 10, and you have 3 times the 1 here. And so 3 times the 1 is like, yes, I am empowering myself through the sun, through Cancer, to create my own success story, because I have started to create my own pattern, my own destiny, and I believe in it, right? Because you see how she holds also a bird over her left eye, right? Here you had it over the right eye. And so now you're going to see with the right eye that you have the power to go into the human path, into the right path, and do your story and create your success, right? Because you know what love really means as a baby, and you know that sometimes the earthiness of here on the position of Cancer came the Taurus energy, the loving, caring family, right? That is here for you and giving you now the feeling, I want to have a family on my own, and I want to give back to this child, right, what I maybe have not gotten. And then the last card here on the position of the world. Then you see here, this card came reverse, that the page of inspiration, right? You have the pages of, or the princesses of cups, and you have then the page of pentacles, you have all the earth, and now you have all the fire. All is missing is the swords, right, generation. But you have here 9 zodiac signs, right? All 3 water, all 3 earth, all 3 fire signs. So you have then, because it's reverse, and in the Muse Tarot there's no negativity to it, you have now here this cloud that is coming down by giving you all possibilities, by giving you, like, giving birth, right, almost here to this amazing energy that you had here through the 17, right? You are recognizing now, I give birth to creation, to all possibilities, to creativity. and the world is feeling that you are bringing the spark. What goes up also comes down. Look at the colors are really the same, right? So you are recognizing that something is speaking here very strongly to you, because the world, the 21, is the 3, and 3 zodiac signs creates a 6 or a 3-3 portal, right? See that. Your destiny is to create interesting people in this world by being interesting yourself, by being inspiring yourself. And then, of course, comes now this card, right? And this is the card number 38. Interesting. You have a 3 and an 8 calculated together. It's 11. And the 11, again, the portal to create something sustainable for the next generation, is speaking here about the night, the turn dark, the inner troll. So I'm going to hold this card here as well, and you can read that and stop the video again and read it. Darkness, like a mood, falls suffocating as it engulfs all emotions, rupturing their splendor, shading all with the heavy hues of futility. A sudden compression that should be a lesson in depression, but it isn't. It loathes and demeans our dreams, not just yours, but those of others. Our inner trolls pose challenges, blocking our bridges out of the drums. Evoke the resolve from the lands of the midnight sun. Light will return and dissolve darkness. All is possible because you have masculine and feminine challenging all generations now to come out and to show their true colors, to show who they are, who they want to become, because now we're going into the age of Aquarius, we're going into your age where anything is possible, and you are noticing that now Cancer, the Chariot, the success deep within, in sharing that love of diversity, of being unique, of being, crazy, going up and coming down and changing and shifting, is now at the heart of us all, of the whole world is changing into that, because the world, right, the earth is spinning to the right every 24 hours. So we get the day and night, but then also it does a wobble around its own axis, 25,800 years long. And a lot of people don't even talk about it. No one wants you to know about that, right? That a religion is formed in 2,150 years, and we're going from the age of Pisces, which was Jesus, and before that was the Bible, right? Was the Jewish tradition, the age of Aries, the blowing the horn of the Aries, and the lamb that was killed, right? And then we have the age of Pisces, Jesus the fisherman, and now we have the star, right? We have the gender neutrality, because the star is neutral. And so here you have the answer that everything is shifting and changing, and sometimes it takes courage to go there. It takes that 7th chakra, the higher perspective, to cut through the bullshit, to cut through the 6th chakra, to cut deep down into the rabbit hole, right? When we go deep down, we need courage to understand things. And so you get the courage to do that. You get the courage to go through, because you have now the fire signs here as well, right? So the fire signs are giving you the power to cut through all of that. Wow. Sometimes I'm like, wow, what's happening, right? It's like there's so much information, sometimes almost a little too much. And I'm having a hard time sometimes to really pick only the essential, and I feel like everything wants to come out of me, and so I have to figure out, maybe I have to do less cards or change it a little bit, but it's like it's a lot of information. Anyway, I hope I see you in the next one, because then you get your full moon reading, and that's all to the left, right? From the full moon to the new moon, that's the path that I'm gonna read then to the left. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.